I'm one of only two psychologists I know of that have been to the bottom of a coal mine, let alone one in the remote part of Africa. It was there that I learned three very important lessons that I keep with me in my professional practice. So let me tell you a little bit about the background. So I was at a client in the mining industry, and so a colleague and I, Bill, we had an opportunity to go visit a site. And I'm the type of psychologist that I like to get my hands dirty. I like to get on the plant floor. I like to see where things are being made, where things are being done. And so Bill and I were able to, through our client, go visit one of the mines. So we got out there, donned all the safety equipment, went through the briefings, made our way through various elevators going down to the bottom of the mine. And then we were escorted through more safety briefings, and then we finally got to the coal face. And during one of the safety briefings, the supervisor had said to me to turn off my cap lamp. And when I did, I was amazed at how dark it was. I'd never experienced blackness like that. I had my hand in front of my eyes and I couldn't even see a shadow. And then a little while later, we got to the coal face, and for a very brief moment, I took my earphones away from my ear, and I could hear the loud racket, of the coal being roughly eviscerated from the earth. And then about that time, our period as corporate tourists was nearing an end, so we had to go back up to the top, and we made our way slowly back to the surface. And a little while later, we were sitting in the local town and having a beer and thinking about this and talking about our experience. And three really important lessons came when we think about work. One, context is king. Context is everything. Two, teams must have trust. And three, everyone's responsible for the community. Now, what do I mean by context is king? Sometimes decisions made in a corporate headquarters fail to take into account the context where the work's being done. Small budget cuts to safety equipment made thousands of miles away in a corporate headquarters could have a drastic impact there at the coal face, there when you're at the bottom of the mine. So it's very important when decision makers and leaders are making their decisions, are evaluating their plans, that they remember the context where the work's being done and the context of the impact it could have on others. Second, teams have to have trust. Every member of the team has to trust that the other members of the team know their job and are going to do what they're supposed to do. If there was an emergency in the bottom of the mine, one person not knowing what to do would put all the other team members at risk. So teams being able to trust each other is paramount. What's interesting is that new research in a corporate environment is showing exactly the same thing, that teams that have trust amongst themselves perform better than teams that don't have trust. And three, everyone's responsible for the community. When Bill and I were sitting there having a beer afterwards, and we were looking around at the town, and these were the wives, mothers, sons, daughters, brothers, sisters of the people who were working underground. Decisions that are made for that particular mine would affect everybody in that community because there wasn't any other employment for hundreds of miles around. So three important lessons we learned. Context is king, teams must have trust, and the responsibility for the community is everyone's responsibility. So as we were cleaning up that day and getting the coal dust off our faces, what we realized was we couldn't get quite all of it off. Some of it remained. It almost looked like we were wearing eyeliner. And for those lessons that we learned at the bottom of the mine, we were very proud to wear our eyeliner for that day.